you can help us get that spark back. So will you come over to the church, and we're going to celebrate his birthday. We're going to take a break around 4 or 5 o'clock, and we're going to celebrate and give him a little surprise.
Hey, don't let him out of here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Usually the staff would give him a suit for his birthday, and this time Andrew Young and Abernathy and Jesse Jackson and the people around him said, let's don't give him a suit, let's give him some laughter. Let's make him laugh. And so that was my assignment, to come over and make him laugh.
We know that you really don't need much, but we thought that some things you ought to have. So we searched around, and knowing what's coming up for you, we thought you'd be strung out on a shoestring, so when you go to jail, here's some shoestring potatoes. We want you to... Then, we know how fond you are of our president, Lyndon Johnson. And we know how you're supporting everything. I've got this little cup for you, and I want this back because it's mine. And it says, let me read. It says, we are cooperating with Lyndon Johnson's war on poverty. Drop coins and bills in the cup. So
part of the Poor People's Campaign was Martin Luther King wanted to go and listen to the people. So we had hearings. Marks, Mississippi, one of the first places we went.
Bond, yeah.
I am the mother with 6 kids, 6 children. I live on a plantation in an old piece of house. They don't know where they'll get a good meal. We go work in Miss Ann's house for $2 a day. If we don't want to do that, she tell us, well, you got to move. See, where you going to go to, you don't have nowhere to go to.
That's where the Poor People's Campaign started. Martin Luther King says he's absolutely convinced that the rest of the world needs to hear the testimony of these people.
And I just want you to know how deeply moved I have been. I've listened to your problem, and it has touched me.
It is awful, Doctor.
And I just want you to know that we are with you, and we are going to work with you and work in your behalf. How you all doing? Yes, sir. I know all of you are studying hard, and you're just doing fine in school, and I'm glad to see you.
We're glad to see you.
Thank you very much.
Our plan was to mobilize people in about 15 different poverty areas. We had poor whites, we had Native Americans, we had Hispanic, we had rural blacks, urban blacks. It was sort of decided that this was not something we could win. But we remembered that the bonus marches in the Depression didn't win either. They actually got run out of Washington by General MacArthur. But their being there set the stage for the New Deal.
The other thing I want you to understand is this, that it didn't cost the nation 1 penny to integrate lunch counters.
Well,
it didn't cost the nation 1 penny to guarantee the right to vote. But now we are dealing with issues that cannot be solved without the nation spending billions of dollars and undergoing a radical redistribution of economic power. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Red. See ya. All right. FBI claimed they had 3. They were going to ambush Dr. King. And I think they claimed they had found 2 of them. And they couldn't claim that what happened. They were there to really assassinate me. But that they could never get me as a clear target. Because I was surrounded. But that wasn't the scariest moment. Philadelphia, Mississippi, and Chicago on the day that we marched through that narrow street. And we marched about 4,000 or 5,000 people that day, but they were in trees. And they were throwing so many rocks and things that I saw the policemen duck at least. One time, you remember, it looked like you could see 4,000 policemen duck. They all went down. That's the fact. Now that to me, and Philadelphia, Mississippi were the most, I just gave up. I wouldn't say I was so afraid as that I had yielded to the real possibility of the inevitability of death.
He was never getting enough sleep, never being able to eat regularly, torn by his obligations as a husband and a father to his kids and so forth, and constantly worrying about whether there's going to be enough money to meet payrolls of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. You know the kind of stress he was under. Why those of us who were aware of some of it didn't move more aggressively. It would have perhaps alleviated some of Dr. King's demons and pain.
We were on the road for the Poor People's Campaign. And in the middle of this, the Memphis garbage workers went on strike.
Public employees cannot strike against their employer, and this you can't do. I suggested to these men today that you go back to work.
This thing started with two garbage men who were crushed in the back of a garbage truck, along with the garbage, because they were not allowed to seek shelter in white neighborhoods in Memphis.
When a public official orders a group of men to get back to work and then we'll talk, and treats them as though they are not men, that's a racist point of view. And no matter how you dress it up in terms of whether or not a union can organize, it's still racism. For at the heart of racism is the idea that a man is not a man.
All labor has dignity.
Yeah.
But you are doing another thing. You are reminding not only Memphis, but you are reminding the nation that it is a crime for people to live in this rich nation and receive starvation wages.
He got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get your 6 o'clock plane to Memphis, and was planning to be back in Washington that evening for a meeting. And he said, well, you go on to Washington. So I went on to Washington, and he and Bernard Lee went to Memphis. He planned to just start the march and then go get on the plane, but as soon as the march started, people started breaking windows and throwing bricks and bottles.
Dr. King felt very strongly he didn't want to be a part of anything that was disruptive